A shooting closes Will Rogers World Airport. OU suspends more students as racial tensions rise. And the ACLU says Governor Fallin is breaking the law. This is OU Nightly. At least one person is dead in a violent incident that has shut down Oklahoma City's Will Rogers World Airport.
Police responded to the airport shortly after 1 p.m. when a man with a gunshot wound was reported in the airport's lower level.
OU Nightly's Storm Jones joins us live from Will Rogers World Airport with the latest details. Storm?
We are across the street from the Will Rogers World Airport, where shortly after 1 o'clock, Oklahoma City police responded to a shooting call. We know the person that was shot here was 52-year-old Michael Winchester. He was a Southwest Airlines employee and he died at the hospital. Oklahoma City police say they believe this is an isolated workplace violence incident and not related to any larger terrorism group. Now, the FBI has taken the lead on this investigation. You can see the Oklahoma City police helicopter still scanning the area. They remain on lockdown since 1 o'clock this afternoon. No flights in, no flights out, with the exception of one. We do know a federal inmate came in here on a flight earlier, and so that's it. Coming in and out of Will Rogers World Airport, one flight diverted to Post. As cars were over on the side of the road, people waiting to get in, waiting to check into their flight. We know people inside the airport are only hearing messages of shelter in place with little information. They've been asking for that information. We also know from Oklahoma City Police Captain spokesman Paco Balderrama, there are still people on airplanes with little information. As you can see, the search continues here at the Will Rogers World Airport. I'm Storm Jones for OU Nightly.
And airport officials urge passengers with scheduled departures later this afternoon and tonight to call your airline. It's most likely that your flight is or will be canceled, and you will need to make alternative plans.
A criminal investigation revealed that 3 people linked to the racist messages sent to black freshmen at the University of Pennsylvania live in Oklahoma. The president of the University of Pennsylvania said no Penn students were involved in the sending of these messages. OU President David Boren issued a statement after the incident saying, "As our university has clearly demonstrated in the past, we have zero tolerance at this university for those who would engage in racism. We will maintain at our university a strong sense of community which values and respects every single student." President Boren has suspended 1 student whose identity is still unknown for their involvement in the GroupMe. He also said the messages do not appear to have originated at OU. Reverend Jesse Jackson from Black Lives Matter Oklahoma told OU Nightly he's not ready to say that OU is institutionally racist, but there are some deep-seated issues that need to be addressed.
And the presidential election has brought protest here at OU and at other schools. And now a University of Houston student has started an organization to bring students together. Jacob Foreman has formed Students for a Just America. The organization is looking to unite students torn apart because of a political candidate. The initiative has gone from the University of Houston to over 20 college campuses, including OU, Harvard, and LSU.
Yeah, I think the angle for the organization is kind of tying back to what I talked about, is actually having an actual structure with college students that is effective at community organizing, not only on the national level, but also on local levels. Having a system in place that can actually mobilize quickly and effectively if there is anything that we feel the need to protest.
The organization's mission statement and campus events can be found on its Facebook page. Their name again, Students for a Just America.
Newly elected SGA President J.D. Baker joins us now in studio. J.D., thanks for joining with us.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So the timing of your election comes at a time when there has been an influx in racism on the campus. How do you think the university is or should go about handling this?
I believe the university is taking appropriate steps when it comes about certain things. I think, and I've been working with Vice President Shoemate, the Vice President for University Community, and Dean of Students Clark Stroud. I've been working with both of them, and I believe they're taking appropriate steps. They're definitely wanting to make this an inclusive environment. Even Clark's office, this Office of Student Affairs, have opened up student community hours to the community, which is every day this week. the class times next week and the following week. So they're really making steps to make sure that students feel included on this campus and that we solve, you know, who are the people who are perpetuating this racism.
Right. Your main message during your campaign was bridging the gap, specifically pushing for more inclusivity. What do you think the root of that problem is, and how do we go about fixing that?
The root of racism?
Yes.
I mean, it's very systemic, and it's in our whole the very fabric of our country. But I believe that we all can take steps individually within our own families, our own communities, to make sure that we better it and eradicate certain issues, especially when it comes to microaggressions and so many different other things. But it really starts with educating ourselves and educating our communities.
Does that apply also for inclusivity?
Oh, yes. As Vice President Shumate always says, and he and I love to share this, but, you know, diversity is being asked to the dance, inclusivity is being asked to dance. So we definitely want to make sure that we're asking all the students here at OU to dance, because not only are they welcome to the dance, but they're also welcome to dance with us.
And aside from racism and inclusivity, what other areas do you think the university needs to, work on?
There are different areas that the university can work on. I mean, whether it's from environmental sustainability, but I do believe there's a lot of things around diversity and inclusivity, and it's a breadth to it. But really making sure that we have accessibility for students. I mean, we are seeing more students who need financial aid. We're also seeing more students who are coming in and are gender nonconforming or transgender. We're our gender neutral bathrooms, you know. We want to make sure that we have, so there's a lot of different things. We want to make sure that those resources are available to our students so that every one of us can thrive and succeed here at this institution.
And then finally, when it's all said and done, what needs to happen for you to, step back and say, hey, my presidency was a success?
You know what? I don't know. I'll let you know a year from now.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, because it's going to be an everyday thing. It's something that we're going to consistently work on. And I know it's not going to be our presidency. It's going to be this whole university. It's going to be the whole institution. You know, even in our campaign, we said that it's not us making the changes, us helping others facilitate the change. And so that's what we want to be, is just help be a facilitator for other change agents.
Okay, JD. Well, thank you for joining with us.
Joining
us today, and good luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Still to come on OU Nightly, an Oklahoma March for Oil pipeline in North Dakota from Oklahoma Today.
And it's, Carson, we had a look at fall weather last week. Kaylee, you want to tell us a little bit more about what we're expecting for this week?
Yeah, guys, well, that fall weather has gone away for today at least. We're looking at temperatures way above average, up in the 80s for the entirety of the state. 84 up in Woodward, that's our hot spot in the state right now. 81 down in Norman. Here in Norman, we're sitting at that 81 degrees. Winds are light, though, out of the southwest. Low humidity, 26%. That means an increase in fire danger, not only for us, but the whole state. I'll have more on that coming up in Maine Weather. But for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Kaylee. Sorry for those technical difficulties, but still to come on OU Nightly, an Oklahoma March for Oil pipeline in North Dakota.
Plus, Oklahoma officials are still working on ways to raise teacher salaries. Stay with us. Oklahoma residents gathered this morning to march against construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Demonstrators say they are responding to a call for solidarity from the Standing Rock camps at the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation in North Dakota. There, protesters who prefer to be called water protectors have demonstrated for months against an oil pipeline that would cut through a water source on native lands. Today, Oklahomans marched from the Skydance Bridge in Oklahoma City to the downtown area. Ashley McCrae, who founded the local No Plains Pipeline organization, says she stands against all oil pipelines in the United States.
We're here to stop all pipelines by whatever means necessary. That means from being here and gathering support and getting community outreach and maybe even reaching the ears of important people and influential people, to laying our bodies on the line through frontline action.
After over 900 days of waiting, the American Civil Liberties Union of Oklahoma has asked a judge to order Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin to cooperate with public record requests. The Oklahoma Observer is seeking records dealing with clemency requests from two men who were convicted of first-degree murder and have since been put to death by the state. A Perfect Cause is looking for records about communication between the governor's office and the nursing home industry.
And Abby Green joins us now in the News Center with a look at Donald Trump's first week as president-elect. Abby?
Barack Obama delivered a warning today against crude nationalism following Donald Trump's victory last week. In Athens today, the president expressed concern about the anger and fear in the American population over threats of globalization and mechanization. He said the U.S. and countries across Europe face populist movements arising from a fear of intruding global forces. After Greece, Obama will visit Germany and then Peru. This is his final overseas trip. President-elect Donald Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence were in New York today to discuss cabinet positions. But the transition team appeared to be straining under the enormous challenge of establishing an administration. Pence took over running transition operations from New Jersey Governor Chris Christie before his demotion last week. And members of the House of Representatives have re-elected Paul Ryan as its Speaker. The Wisconsin Republican was unanimously chosen to fill a second term. An official vote will be held in early January when the next session of Congress begins. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Abby. Still ahead on OU Nightly, the Sooners are gearing up for a top 10 showdown on the road in Morgantown this weekend.
And we saw a little glimpse of fall, but those warm temperatures have returned. Not to worry though, a cool down is coming. I'll tell you what's going to happen up next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Kaylee Nix, and taking a look across the country right now, just like here in Oklahoma, there's not a whole lot happening. Right now across the Central Plains, we are seeing clear skies, no rain pretty much anywhere from all the way up in the Dakotas all the way down into southern Texas. However, up in the northeast, Portland, Oregon area right now, we have a low pressure system that is causing some rain and some storms up there. That low pressure system is going to move into our area in the next few days, bringing with it some cooler temperatures along with a chance for rain once our weekend is over. Taking a look at our future weather, right now we have some high pressure sitting over in Colorado, which is keeping all of us extremely dry. We did have a cold front that passed through earlier this weekend, as well as another one sitting up here in Nebraska, but that's not going to have any effect on us down here in Oklahoma right now. However, that high pressure continues to sit, but there is going to be a slight low that develops up in Colorado as well. Once again, sadly, not bringing anything to us down here. But as that low continues to move out, it is going to bring with it a cold front that slides through the state through Thursday night and into Friday as well. Once that cold front moves through Friday, we're going to see temperatures decrease down to where they should be for this time of year, getting rid of those 80s that we're seeing right now and bringing us down much more to our averages that we should be seeing. Right now, as you're looking ahead, our lows tonight, we are seeing lows in the 50s for the central state, 41 up in the Panhandle, 44 out in Woodward. Right now, our normal low is 39 degrees, so we're sitting about 10 degrees higher than we should be for this time of year, even though we are under some clear skies. As you head out the door in the morning, our temperatures are going to hit right around those 50s as they were. We're going to see winds light out of the south, but they will increase as you head on to the 5 p.m. hour. They're going to become gusty out of the south with those warm temperatures as well. Those warm southerly winds are going to bring us our above average highs for tomorrow as well. 80s once again across the entirety of the state, 85 up in Guyman. Right now, that's about 25 degrees higher than what we're supposed to be sitting at. Our normal high for right now is 61 degrees, but on those conditions, those warm winds and those southerly winds are going to make it extremely dry, which is why we have issued for us a red flag warning for the Panhandle. That red flag warning is valid for tomorrow, all the way up for the Panhandle, Woodward, westward into Guyman. That red flag warning is valid noon up into 9 p.m. tomorrow, so that means no outside burning. Make sure that you keep all those flames away from dry grass. If there is going to be a fire that starts, it's going to go up very easily, and those high winds are going to fan it. However, looking ahead for those next 2 days, that cool down starts on Thursday with our temperature hitting 76. So tomorrow for Wednesday, hot under clear skies with that wind picking up in the afternoon. That wind is going to stick around through Thursday as well. We'll see gusts well up into the 25-mile-an-hour range. Fire danger does extend for Thursday as well, but it is lessened because that temperature is going to be lower for Thursday as well. Once that cool down happens on Thursday, it's going to become much more extreme for the rest of the weekend as well. Down to 56 on Friday, down all the way to 53 on Saturday, which is right where we should be for this time of year, much cooler than what we're expecting to see. But then that cold front pushes out of here, and then we're back up to the 60s with the rain chance on Monday and Tuesday of next week, though. So we're looking at that. It's going to be pretty nice for the rest of the weekend once it gets those cool temperatures once again.
No, I know, Kayla. I know we're really excited for some of this cooler weather to start sticking around, not just coming for a few days.
Definitely.
Yeah. Emily and I are both traveling to Morgantown this weekend for the game. It's supposed to snow, so hopefully we can bring some of that weather back with
our
us.
average first freeze is about this time of year, but right now it's not looking like we're having any of that in sight, but hopefully that weather was going to clear out and we'll see that cool temperatures pretty soon.
Thanks so much, Kaylee.
Thank you. Sammy Steele joins us now with a look at last night's marquee Monday night football game. Sammy?
Thanks, Carson. It's Tuesday, so we're talking Monday Night Football. Last night's game starred OU alum Sterling Shepard, and man, was it a close one. Sports is next. Welcome back. The Sooners are back in the fringe of playoff talks, and they are gearing up for another Big 12 face-off. OU will take on the Mountaineers in Morgantown on national television Saturday. The game will determine a lot for the Big 12 in the college football playoff. The Sooners know the matchup will be a tough one.
And you've got to perform. Certainly, you get tested more when you play against really good defenses. So sure, there'll be a huge test. There'll be as big a test as we've faced all year. So it's a major challenge. They play really well, and play good against them. You've got to really be on top of your game, not just Baker, but everybody.
This last weekend left the playoff picture in question after a round of upsets. 3 out of the top 4 lost, and the 8th and the 9th team also lost. The new college football ranking comes out at 7 p.m. tonight. And the women's soccer team made history. The team defeated SMU in their first ever win in the NCAA National Championship. The win added to a school record 14 wins in a season. The Sooners will take on the number 4 ranked BYU in the second round. The wrestling team is off to a solid start this season. OU traveled to New York to take part in the Journeyman A6 Classic. Dwaylen Barnes and Dalton Duffield both won first place in their divisions, and 3 other Sooners took second place in their divisions. The team looks to continue their success Friday. The team will welcome back 11th ranked Michigan at McCaslin Fieldhouse for their first home duel of the season. The match starts at 7 p.m. Let's talk Monday Night Football, and Andy Dalton finds his favorite target, A.J. Green, in the first quarter for a 13-yard touchdown pass. Eli Manning and the Giants answer as Odell Beckham Jr. runs a beautiful route for the 10-yard touchdown reception. The Bengals would take the lead in the third quarter after Jeremy Hill finds a crease for a 9-yard touchdown, but OU's very own Sterling Shepard catches the game-winning 3-yard touchdown pass as the Giants take this one 21-20. The OKC Thunder visited the depleted Pistons last night, who were without Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond. The Thunder came up short despite 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists from OKC star Russell Westbrook. The Pistons would pull this one out and win 104-88. The loss is the Thunder's 4th straight after starting the season 6-1. And guys, we have one more thing for y'all. A guy made a bet with his friends that they could pull his tooth out if the Cubs won the World Series. And man, they sure did. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, in slow motion, it's just even more painful to watch.
I don't know, who would offer to do that?
You must really love the Cubs.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know anybody who's a fan that big, right?
Yeah, no. I have to say I was a little nervous when I heard about the tooth pulling video because I don't do good with that stuff. But
it was all right though.
Yeah,
not too bad. Not too bad.
And still to come on OU Nightly, a trash man makes his Monday rotations with a surprising partner. Stay with us.
Love me tender, love me true. All my dreams fulfill.
I'm Claire Spazier at the Update Desk with the latest on today's top stories. Fire crews responded early this morning to a large barn fire in southwest Oklahoma City. The hay makes the fire extremely difficult to extinguish, and officials say they are allowing the bales to just burn out on their own. There are no reported injuries, but there is damage to some farm equipment. The cause of the fire is still unknown. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Claire. And James the Trash Man makes his Plano, Texas trash rotations every Monday, and at 2 p.m. is joined by his 2-year-old friend, Lance. Yesterday, Lance wheeled his mini recycling bin around dressed just like the Trash Man James. This unique friendship formed last July when Lance's family moved into their Plano home, and after 4 years on the job, James finally found a sidekick. Lance even dressed as James for Halloween.
Well, Kaylee, can we get one more quick look at the weather for tonight?
Yeah, guys, we're looking at some hot temperatures right now, way hotter than average. And those hot temperatures are going to continue overnight and into tomorrow as well. 62 degrees for your 8 p.m. hour, 58 to 10, 55 for midnight. Under clear skies, light winds, but those winds are going to ramp up as we get into tomorrow as well, bringing with it fire danger for the majority of the state.
That's not good, but it definitely should feel good outside.
Definitely.
All right, thank you. Thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.